Have you ever noticed how much energy we waste trying to look strong on the outside while secretly battling doubts on the inside? You scroll through social media and it feels like everyone else has it all figured out. The perfect job, the perfect body, the perfect life. And then you compare yourself, silently asking, what's wrong with me? Why don't I feel enough? That inner voice of doubt grows louder the more you chase external approval. You post something, waiting for likes to validate your worth. You work late, hoping recognition will silence the fear of not being good enough. But instead of confidence, all you feel is exhaustion. Because deep down you already know the truth. No amount of outside applause can fix the emptiness inside. The truth is simple, but it cuts deep. Your life is a mirror of where you place your focus. If your attention is consumed by what others think, your confidence will always feel fragile, built on shifting sand. But when you choose to focus inward, on your growth, your discipline, your values, something powerful happens. The doubts don't disappear overnight, but they begin to lose their grip. Confidence is not a gift that others can hand you. It is a muscle built from the inside out. When you stop measuring your worth through external applause and start measuring it through your own progress, the entire direction of your life changes. That is the turning point. Realizing that silence in your doubts comes not from the crowd's approval, but from the strength you build within yourself. Confidence is not born in a single moment of inspiration. It is built in the small choices you make every day. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you lay another brick in the foundation of trust within. Confidence grows when you show up, even on the days you don't feel like it. Success is not about giant leaps. It's about the quiet consistency of small steps repeated over time. Discipline beats motivation, because motivation fades when life gets heavy, but discipline carries you through. Imagine competing not with the world, but only with the version of yourself from yesterday. That mindset shifts everything. Instead of chasing validation, you begin to chase progress. And with each step forward, the doubts grow quieter because your actions prove louder than your fears. So here's the challenge. What if, for the next 30 days, you stopped pouring your energy into what others think of you, and instead invested it in your own growth? Imagine what would happen if you committed every single day to one action that makes you stronger, sharper, or more disciplined. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Reading 10 pages, exercising for 20 minutes, writing down your goals, or simply practicing gratitude. Small commitments compound into massive transformation. Think about how this choice would ripple into your life. In your relationships, you'd stop needing constant validation because you'd already know your worth. At work, instead of being paralyzed by fear of judgment, you'd move forward with clarity and confidence. In your mind, you'd replace the endless loop of doubts with a steady rhythm of progress. The truth is, when you grow, everything around you grows with you. Your standards rise, your energy attracts better opportunities, and your presence inspires others. But none of that starts until you decide. Until you make the shift from waiting for change to becoming the change. And the decision doesn't happen tomorrow, or someday in the future. It begins right now with you. Here's the illusion that keeps so many people stuck. The belief that someday the perfect moment will arrive. That one day you'll finally feel ready, finally have enough money, enough time, enough support to begin. But that day never comes. Life will always be messy. There will always be distractions, opinions, and reasons to wait. If you keep looking for permission or for the stars to align, you'll wait forever. No one is coming to save you. Not a mentor, not a partner, not society. The world can encourage you, but it cannot carry you. And even if someone tried, their strength could never replace the confidence you must build for yourself. The hard truth is that the weight of your doubts will only lift when you decide to lift them. The illusion of the perfect time is just fear wearing a mask. And once you see it for what it is, you realize you've had the power all along. Every day you delay is a day you trade for regret. But every day you act is the day you take back your life. The choice is yours. Keep waiting for the perfect moment or create it yourself. Your energy is the most valuable resource you have, and it's limited. Every day you wake up with a certain amount. and the way you spend it decides the quality of your life. But most people waste it. They pour it into endless scrolling, into arguments that don't matter, into comparing themselves with strangers online. And then they wonder why they feel drained, anxious, and unmotivated. Focus is the filter that determines where your energy goes. Where your attention flows, your energy follows, and what you give energy to will grow. If you focus on distractions, your doubts will grow stronger. If you focus on progress, your confidence will grow deeper. It's not about having more energy, it's about directing the energy you already have toward what actually matters. Think of energy like sunlight. Scattered, it warms the surface. But focused through a lens, it becomes powerful enough to start a fire. The same is true for your life. Scattered focus creates warm intentions, but little change. Focused energy, however, ignites transformation. The question is, are you wasting your light on things that don't matter, or are you directing it toward building the life you deserve? One of the greatest traps we fall into is the pursuit of validation. From the moment we are children, we are conditioned to seek approval, from parents, from teachers, from friends. And as we grow, the world only amplifies that demand. And as we grow, the world only amplifies that demand. Social media feeds on it. Every like, every comment, every view feels like proof that we matter. But here's the paradox. The more you depend on validation, the less confident you actually feel. Because your worth is always in someone else's hands. When your confidence is tied to external approval, it becomes fragile. One negative comment, one rejection, one moment of being overlooked, and suddenly, your entire self-image shatters. You begin to live like an actor on a stage, performing for the crowd, terrified of making a mistake. But authenticity cannot survive in that environment. And without authenticity, there can be no real confidence. True confidence comes when you no longer need applause to confirm your value. It's when you can walk into a room, not to impress anyone, but simply to express who you are. It's the quiet strength of knowing that your worth is not negotiable, not up for debate, not dependent on how the world reacts to you. And ironically, when you stop seeking validation, you often gain something greater: respect. Because people are drawn to authenticity in a world drowning in imitation. Think about it, the people who inspire us most are rarely those who fit in perfectly. They are the ones who stand out because they dare to be real. They speak their truth, even when it's unpopular. They live in alignment with their values, even when it costs them approval. And that kind of courage silences doubt far more than applause ever could. So the question becomes, are you willing to disappoint others in order to stay true to yourself? Because if not, you will spend your life performing for acceptance instead of living with freedom. Confidence cannot coexist with the need for constant approval. You must choose. And the moment you choose authenticity over validation, you begin to experience a freedom that no external praise could ever give you. The world today is louder than ever. Notifications, opinions, comparisons, all fighting for your attention, all drowning out the most important voice you have, your own. And when the noise outside is constant, the silence inside becomes impossible to hear. That's why so many people live disconnected from themselves. They know what everyone else wants, but they have no idea what they want. Clarity is born in silence. When you step away from the noise, even just for a moment, you begin to hear the truth within you. It's in the quiet moments of reflection that you remember what really matters. Not the highlight reels of strangers online, not the endless pressure to prove yourself, but the deeper call of who you are and where you're meant to go. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's strength. It's choosing to turn down the volume of the world so you can turn up the volume of your soul. And when you do, you realize that most of your doubts were never your own. They were echoes of other people's fears, other people's expectations. In silence, those voices lose their power. What remains is clarity. A clear vision of who you are, what you value, and the path you want to walk. Success without clarity is just noise dressed as progress. You can achieve, and still feel empty if you're chasing goals that aren't truly yours. But when clarity guides you, every step feels aligned. You no longer waste energy comparing yourself because you know your lane. You no longer crave approval because you know your truth. And with that clarity comes confidence. A confidence rooted so deeply within that doubt has no room to survive. So make time for silence. Protect it. Treat it as sacred. Because in the end, the world won't slow down. The noise won't stop. But you can. And when you do, you'll discover that the answers you've been searching for have been inside you all along. So here's the final truth. Confidence is not luck, and it's not talent. It's the outcome of focus. Focus on yourself, on your growth, on the daily choices that build strength over time. Doubt is silenced not by waiting for it to vanish, but by proving to yourself, day after day, that you are stronger than it. Every habit you build, every promise you keep, every step you take in alignment with your values, these are the bricks that construct your future. Small choices, repeated daily, create the foundation of unshakable confidence. And when you look back months from now, you won't see random effort. You'll see a pattern, a rhythm, a life that reflects discipline, clarity, and self-trust. You've never truly been stuck. You've only been distracted. The moment you shift your focus inward, the moment you stop searching for answers outside of yourself, everything begins to align. Relationships improve. Opportunities appear. Peace replaces chaos. Not because the world changed, but because you did. So let this be your reminder. The doubts are not louder than your confidence. They are only louder than your silence. And when you choose focus, when you choose discipline, when you choose to grow, confidence becomes the voice that leads your life.